All right, so we have our new offensive coordinator, Mr. Bill Lazor. I believe it's Lazor, not Lazar. Bill Lazor is going to be the offense coordinator for our Chicago Bears, and so I I don't know Bill Lazor like personally, but I do have a couple degrees of separation. Funny enough, a while ago, one of the people that I was able to brush elbows with and have a good conversation with was Coach Zapansi, who was at the time the Cincinnati Bengals quarterbacks coach. And then after their offensive coordinator got let go, he got promoted to offensive coordinator. And then after he was let go, then Bill Lazor, of course, was promoted to offensive coordinator. And so at that time, Bill Lazor wasn't part of the staff. But so he worked with Coach Z, and I wouldn't say I know him like really well, but I definitely spent like a whole day with him at one of the coaching clinics that I used to work at. So anyway, just an interesting thing because with Cincinnati, besides the fact of like the disappointment of, their production as a team, also they just, as an offense, it was just kind of a rotating internal door. And so I think Coach Z was really highly respected at that time that I met him because Andy Dalton was improving, and he wasn't a first round top pick. And so whatever he was doing was just better than anybody expected. And so talking to Coach Z about Andy Dalton and talking to him about, working with the offense and how they put it together for him coming out of TCU, you just see how, again, these narratives, and it wasn't as bad back then, but you see how these narratives could really change the whole perception. And so because of that, they put him in charge of the offense, and for a lot of reasons, it didn't work out. So it was like, this Bill Lazor guy, and then it didn't work out for him either. So you see how people can, again, nothing against these coaches, but for all the Bears fans listening that get all hyped up about the next hiring, sometimes it's just a rotating door. And it's not that these people aren't good, it's that the problem is bigger than them. And so if you have a team over 10 years underachieve, there's a lot of pieces that probably got replaced, but you can see what's the constant about this team. Now, most of the time it's the owner, we know, but we can't do nothing about the owners. So what's the constant on the actual football side? And so, it doesn't matter that it's Bill Lazor. It doesn't matter that it's Coach Z. It doesn't matter that it's Marvin Lewis, or I wouldn't say Marvin Lewis, but, you got the same quarterback. You got the same head coach. And so some things don't change. And so I think that's a good example of where I'm coming from when I talk about these coaches, because I talked about tight ends coach, talked about Juan Castillo, the O-line coach, and I'm going to say the same thing with this guy. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't matter because they're not good or anything. It's nothing against them. The point is, if the talent doesn't change, if the person in charge doesn't change, it doesn't matter. I'm not sure what magic pill people think are going to happen. And I get it. Look, if you were talking about a group of college freshmen or a group of rookie, 5 offensive lines, rookies, yes, I get it. The position coach can be instrumental in developing them into pros. But that's not the case right now. And so there's nothing magical that's going to change about the blocking. And so there can be an attitude adjustment with these positions. There can be a grind to it, and that's good. That does help. But the talent level is not going to change. And if Nagy continues to do it the way he wants to do it, then it doesn't matter, because it's not conducive to what we have as a roster. And so we heard early when Mark Helfrich was hired, Nagy, of course, is running the offense, but he liked Mark because he is creative, and he's been able to design all these things in college with the spread, and they're going to put their minds together and get super creative with what they can do. And I don't know what happened. I mean, I definitely believe both of them are creative. What I do know about strictly offensive guys, sometimes they get a little too creative and forget about executing with what they have or doing what's best for the team that you have. So I don't know what was the case, but, it turned out the way it turned out. And so with this guy, whether it's going to be play design or it's definitely not going to be play calling as of right now, Matt Nagy already said he's calling plays. So it's just like, it doesn't matter. I don't know what people think. The run game wasn't good, and Helfrich was the run game coordinator with Houston, so they must suck. Bro, they could have had the best run game plan you've ever seen in your life every single week. If Nagy doesn't stick to it, if he doesn't call those plays, then it doesn't matter. It's about who's in charge. Bill Lazor could be the play caller right now. But guess what? If he's not calling what Nagy wants, then that's what's going to get pulled. It's not, oh my God, you're the play caller, I can't step over you. No, it's about who's in charge. And who's in charge at the end of the day is the head coach. And so Nagy has the power. Even if you said, hey, I'm not going to call plays, I'm not going to coordinate, I'm not going to game plan, I'm letting all my staff do that, and I'm going to just manage. He could say that, but guess what happens at the end of the day when on the headset you hear the head coach say, no, I don't want to run that play. Or no, we need to stop doing that. I want to see us run more of this. Guess what? You're going to have to do it. And so, again, I've said this before, and I don't understand what quite the friction is with people trying to, clap back at me. But and again, I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all. It just matters very little when you have the same constants in power and you have the same talent on the field. So if you're calling the same stuff or similar stuff and you're using the same players to execute it, it's going to be similar results. And so I'm not super excited. Now, Lazor as a resume doesn't have a super impressive resume either, but I don't dig too much into coaches' resume if I don't really know them well. Like, there's obviously writing on the wall, like Juan Castillo. Everybody's just like, oh my God, he's the run game coordinator. Bills were top 5 in rushing. Guess what? They were 31st in passing. They were 31st in pass attempts as well. Like, they didn't throw the ball. They ran all the time. And he got fired after that. So, you could read those things, but overall, I'm not going to say as a coach, you're just as good as the result, because there's too many factors. So Bill Lazor might be innovative. He might be great. He might be fun. He might be a good guy. He might be a great coach. I don't know. I'm not condemning him. What I'm saying is our situation is that if Nagy continues the way that he has in his capacity and our roster is similar to what we put out, then I'm not moved by a position coach or a coordinator, especially a coordinator for a team where the head coach is essentially the real coordinator. So I'm not moved by those moves. Like, it might be a small piece to the puzzle, but the bigger pieces is how is the coaching staff going to be ran and what talent are we going to put on the roster? And that's really the bigger needle. So it's fine. I'm not saying, oh crap, we lost because we got these guys. Like, they're fine. They're not going to sway it negatively or positively in a big way. At the end of the day, the big moves are going to come in free agency, in the draft, and then also with Nagy and his play call. So, all right, that's it for me. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around, get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe. Remember, stay up and bear down.